Hawak ng partner. Alright, your question is? Alright, question number 4. I'll read the question twice for you. And here is your question, Queen number 1. Alright. The question is, DJ, yung pahina na sa if you will choose amongst your contender tonight, who do you think is the least deserving of the crown and why? Again, I'll repeat the question. If you will choose among your contender tonight, who do you think is the least deserving of the crown and why?
Every single candidate who's here tonight is equally beautiful, talented, and intelligent. So I think if I'm given the chance to choose one list or the one candidate that I think is the list amongst the rest, who is gonna be? Well, definitely I will choose no one. Because as a pageant queen, we don't want other candidates to actually look at us or see us as least contender. Ayoko pong maghanap ng pinakamahina o pinaka-hindi deserving sa mga kandidatang ito dahil kada tungtong namin ng ganitong patimpalak, naniniwala ako na lahat kami ay deserving manalo ng corona. Nasa hurado na po ang desisyon kung sino nga ba ang hihirangin natin ngayong gabi. Ngunit para sa akin, hindi ko na kailangan pumili pa sa kanilang lahat dahil may tiwala ako sa kakayahan ng bawat kandidata na nandito po sa inyong harapan. But rather, let me choose one thing. Let's choose a winner. I hope that tonight, napipiliin po ng mga hurado ang isang reyna na may busilak na puso, hindi lamang ganda ng mukha, hindi lamang buhok, o ganda ng pangangatawan. Ngunit, ang reyna na handang humarap sa inyo at magpakatotoo anuman ang sabihin nila. Marami yung nagsasabi, baklang bato-bato, baklang tatuan, baklang matigas. Ngunit, sa ganitong uri ng patimpalak, lagi niyong tatandaan, may baklang kalbo tatata. Tonight, I hope that you will crown the king amongst all queens. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Queen number 1. Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. They always say that discrimination is the biggest struggle or problem that LGBT faces. Now, why do you think people don't understand us and criticize our gender? And what can you suggest to solve it? Again, your question is, they always say that discrimination is the biggest struggle or problem that LGBT faces. Now, why do you think that people who's not in our community don't understand us and criticize our gender? And what can you suggest to solve it?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what do I think that the people is still, the question is again?
People don't understand.
Yes, don't understand that we LGBT is, I think, sir, yes.
That LGBT is being criticized and discriminated.
Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I think because LGBT itself didn't respect themselves first. Because I believe that respect begins respect. Respetuhin muna natin ang ating mga sarili bago tayo respetuhin ng ibang tao. Ladies and gentlemen, ang daming baklang ngawa ng ngawa, daing ng daing, dahil hindi kami nire-respeto ng mga tao sa paligid namin. Ngunit kung titingnan natin sa kabilang banda, kami ba bakla? Nirespeto ba namin ang sarili namin? So ladies and gentlemen, how could I fight it? The mathematical method. Ladies and gentlemen, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. First, I add positivities to ourselves, then subtract the negativities. But the people in respect, it will be multiplied so that the people are able to divide respect, love, and understanding to us LGBTQIA+ community. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of our journey, still we are all human. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember that since 1963, according to the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, that being a gay is never been a sin. It has never been an abnormality or disability, but rather we can think like a man and we can think like a woman. We can feel like a man and we can feel like a woman. If man can do and woman can do, I am pretty sure that we can do better. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember that LGBT lives gets better if we are together. Thank you and good evening.
What an acronym. Thank you so much. Philippines is considered as third world country. Given all its problems, if given the chance to choose one government sector that needs improvement the most, what government sector would it be and why? I'll repeat. Philippines is considered as a third world country. Given all its problems, if given a chance to choose one government sector that needs improvement the most, what government sector would it be and why? Everyone, let's listen.
It is really a sad truth that Philippines is labeled as one of the third world country. It is just sad that we all have the resources in order for us to have a better and progressive country. It just happened that there's a lot of problems that is going on. It is not just something that can be solved by the government, but this is something that can be solved if we are people is going to work hand in hand. If there is a government sector that has to be improved, that is a sector that works on employment. Why? It is because I believe that if each and every single Filipino will be able to have a job, a profession, then no one is going to struggle. Imagine if your parents is not having a hard time to find a job. They will be able to provide the education that you deserve. They will be able to have a food on the table that you deserve. And you're not even gonna have to struggle having your own shelter or a home for you to feel protected. It is very important for the people of the Philippines to have employment so that no one among our Filipino people who have burned their eyebrows just to finish their degree in the college to go in different country for them to work abroad. Hindi na po natin kailangan lumipat pa ng ibang bansa upang matustusan ang pangangailangan ng ating pamilya. Hindi na po natin kailangan magsilbi pa sa ibang tao dahil kung mayroon pong trabaho para sa bawat isang Pilipino, walang taong magugutom, walang taong lalaki ng mangmang, lahat tayo ay uunlad. Simple lamang po at payak, ngunit lubos kong pinaghisipan at galing sa aking puso at isipan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, candidate number 6, I will repeat the question twice. This is your question. From the basic education to K-12 program, the Philippines Department of Education has launched a revised basic education curriculum labeled Matatag. The curriculum will be implemented in phases from August 2024 to 2028. DepEd's Matatag, the agenda aims to produce competent, job-ready, active, responsible, and patriotic citizens in the country. My question is, as a part of this generation, what are your thoughts and opinion in changing this curriculum again? I will repeat the question.
Haba ng question, 1 minute. 1 minute.
From the basic education to K-12 program, the Philippines Department of Education has launched a revised basic education curriculum labeled Matatag. The curriculum will be implemented in phases from August 2024 to 2028. DepEd's Matatag, the agenda aims to produce competent, job-ready, active, responsible, and patriotic citizens in the country. My question is, as a part of this generation, what are your thoughts and opinion in changing this curriculum again? Good luck. Thank you.
Wow! Maraming salamat po sa isang napakagandang katanungan. Marahil ang pananaw ko po sa pagbago ng K-12 dito sa ating henerasyon or sa aming henerasyon is I am in favor for that. Bakit? Dahil kung hindi niyo po alam or naitatanong, marami pong mga kabataan ang humihinto sa pag-aaral dahil sa kukulungan, sa kanilang salapi, at hindi sapat na trabaho ng kanilang mga magulang. Kung mawawala po ang K-12 at magkakaroon ng panibagong rebase na magsisilbing aktibo na meron ng mag-aabang na trabaho para sa mga estudyante na katulad ko, sino po ang hindi papabor na mas maliliit na lamang po ang pag-aaralan ng mga kabataan? Hindi na po tayo hahantong hanggang K-12. Tayo na lamang po ay merong high school na first year, second year, third year, at fourth year. At kapag tayo ay fourth year na, ay pwede na tayo makapagtrabaho at makatulong sa ating mga pamilya. Lagi po natin tatandaan, pabor po ko na makatulong ng mas maaga ang mga kabataang tulad ko, lalo't kami, hirap sa kahirapan. Kaya sumasaludo po ako sa government na sa pagbibigay bukas ng kanilang kaalaman upang masuportahan ang mga kabataang tulad ko. At kung susuportahan po natin ang bawat hakbang ng ating government, when definitely our Philippines will be stand up and we will be the better Filipino. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Sagalahan or Flores de Mayo is a huge part of the Filipino culture, and as time goes by, LGBT members are participating in this kind of celebration. But they are being mocked and bashed that they are disrespecting this religious practice. Now, do you think LGBT members have the right to participate in this practice? Why or why not? I will repeat the question. Sagalahan or Flores de Mayo is a huge part of the Filipino culture as time goes by. LGBT members are participating in this kind of celebration, but they are being mocked and bashed that they are disrespecting this religious practice. Now, do you think LGBT members have the right to participate in this practice? Why or why not? Good luck.
All right, guys on the back, please.
At this very moment of time, we are celebrating Pride Month, wherein we are recognizing every form of gender, and we are engaging every LGBT individuals in any form of activities. And at the same time, we are celebrating Flores de Mayo, in which I have learned during my study in high school that Flores de Mayo means flowers of May, in which means that we give flowers to the Blessed Virgin Mary as our form of devotion and faith to her. And it's just so ironic that being considered as second most gay-friendly in Southeast Asia, a lot of people still think that engaging ourselves to Flores de Mayo is actually a form of mockery and a form of stereotyping. I would like to commend the people of San Pablo, especially the LGBT San Pablo, for creating a sensible platform just like Flores de Mayo, because this would actually create gender sensitivity and inclusivity in any forms of gender. And I strongly believe that just like Virgin Mary, she is a woman. And those trans women who engage themselves in Flores de Mayo are women. So let us learn how to open our minds and free ourselves from the heteropatriarchal society. Because as LGBT members, we are all entitled to engage ourselves in any form of activities, and we should never ever let the mockery of other people define us and hinder us towards reaching our dreams and aspirations. Because just like Flores de Mayo, we the LGBTQ community are just like flowers. We are deserving to bloom, to bloom, and to blossom. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Queen